Yes friends, very good morning. In our today's session, we will start on the topic on economics. Now friends, what is economics? So, we will study on what is economics. The small introduction we will be giving here in this session, followed by a short meaning, a definition on economics. The various definitions given by various economists. I will just give you two definitions mainly given by Alfred Marshall and Robbins. Then comes your micro and macroeconomics. So what is microeconomics? What is macroeconomics? Similarly, differentiation between both of them. Then comes your economic problem, how it arises and etc. We will discuss on that. And then later on the type of economies. We will discuss on that also. So at the end of session, you will come to know about all these which I just discussed you. So now we will start the introduction topic, friends. Okay. Friends, let me know any discussion on a subject if we are starting, not only we, any people, if any discussion on a subject matter is been started, we will explain about what is the subject is all about. Am I correct? That is, any discussion on a subject matter or subject must start by explaining what the subject is all about. That is, by defining the subject, what is all about. So in this session also today we will define first what is economics. Okay. So the principal fact, friends, the main fact about economics is that we must always remember that an economics is also a social science. So how it is a social science, friends? I will just tell you the word economics. Economics originated from the Greek word. Every word originated from the Greek word. Similarly, the economics word also originated from the Greek word. That is, in the slide you can itself see, it's okemonikos, which can be divided into two parts or two segments. This okes means home and nomos means your management. So home management is basically known as your economics. Thus, economics means your home management. The head of the family faces the problem of managing the unlimited resources, like how to manage the entire unlimited resources efficiently or effectively. That is dependent upon the head of the family. The head of the family faces the problem of managing the entire unlimited resources of the family members within the limit or within the limited income of the family. Okay, then so what is it all about? In fact, as I said, it is a social science. So the same is true for a society also. How come? If we consider, for example, if we consider the whole society as a family, okay, if we consider the whole society as a family, then the society also faces the problem. How it faces the problem? By tackling unlimited wants of members of the society, members of the people with a limited resources available in that society. Am I correct? Thus, economics. What is economics? Just relate the term to the economics. Economics means it is also the study of the way in which the mankind organizes, or the man or a person or a people organizes itself to tackle the basic problems of scarcity. So all societies have more wants naturally than resources. Resources are limited, wants are unlimited. Same applicable to the economics too. Okay friends, I think you may have got some improvement or some introduction or some knowledge about what is economics all about. Am I correct, friends? So now we will start with the second slide. So friends, your economics basically it deals with the production, how to produce, so the production, allocation, and how the utilization should be there, how the use of goods and services should be there. It is important to study how resources can best be managed or best be utilized or distributed to the needs of the number of people or the greatest number of people. Okay, so as I just given you an example on society based, as we are more connected globally to one another, the study of economics play a vital role or an extremely important role. So what is economics? In short, an economics is the science or social science which studies the human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means with which and scarce means which have alternative uses. So what is scarcity, friends? Scarcity means the available resources are insufficient or other available resources are limited to satisfy the human wants or human needs which are unlimited. So in the absence of scarcity and alternative uses of available resources, there is no economic problem. If scarcity is not there, or if the scarcity is lacking, but alternative or substitute resources are available, so we can take that. In that case, economic problem, there is no arise in economic problem. If suppose human wants are unlimited, am I correct? Human wants are unlimited, your resources to satisfy human wants are limited. In that case, economic problem arise or economic problem comes into picture. Same scenario, the subject thus defined involves you that there is a study of choices. Economics simply means choices and choices. The study of choices as they are affected by the resources how we are managing. So the importance of economics is to acknowledge the reality of scarcity, to know the how much is the limited resources is there. Accordingly, we have to fulfill the human wants and then figure out how to organize and how to effectively manage in the way which produce most effective use of resources or most efficient use of your resources. This is where economics play a vital role or a unique contribution takes place of economics. Then friends, now we will start on the definition of your economics. So my dear friends, we have now just formed an idea about what is introduction of economics and what is the meaning of economics. Am I correct? Now we will see what is the definition, a short definition of economics, which every individual can understand. Just listen. Economic activities essentially mean that or it deals in production. It first produces, then it allocates and exchange and consumption of goods and services. Like raw materials, stock in progress, finished goods. Similarly apply here, friends. First we produce it, so production takes place. Then we exchange from from one retailer to the customer. So exchange takes place. After exchange takes place, someone consumes it. Whatever be goods is there, then someone consumes it. Service is there, someone serves it and someone takes the service. Okay. However, with the progress of the civilization, the complexity or the you can say difficulty of the production, exchange and consumption process in society have increased manifold. Okay. In that case, economists what they do, different times at different phase, economists have emphasized or focused on different aspects of economic activities. Okay. Some have focused on emphasized on unlimited wants of a man. Some may have focused or emphasized on the means to satisfy human wants are limited, etc. Okay. So we have various economists who at different times have emphasized in different aspects of economic activities. Okay. And they have, after they have researched, they have come or arrived into a different definitions of economics. We shall discuss few of them. So these definitions can be classified into mainly four groups. Okay friends, four groups. Listen carefully. The first group is your welfare definition, which is given by Alfred Marshall. That is Professor Alfred Marshall given by definition is your welfare definition. Second comes your material welfare definition. Third comes your scarcity definition. Scarcity definition, friends, it's given by Robbins. Fourth definition, which is not there in your notes, that is in your textbook, but it's been given by growth, it's given as growth centered definition. Okay, I will just repeat. Four definitions are there. First is welfare definition, second is material welfare definition, third is scarcity definition, and your fourth is your growth centered definition. Now friends, so just we studied a short idea on economics. Okay. So economics, what is economics? Economics is essentially a study of the how we use limited resources under specific constraints or limitations, all bound with audacious hope that the subject under scrutiny is a rational entity which seeks to improve its overall well-being. Okay. So mainly there are two branches of economics within the subject. That is your microeconomics and macroeconomics. All may know, all may be aware of microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics, in short, is a individual choices which deals with entities and interaction between those entities. Okay, which deals with entities and interaction between those entities. While macroeconomics is an aggregate outcome or total outcome, deals with entire economy as a whole. I'll give an example. Assume that a typical college student, okay, a typical college student appreciates the lessons of economics in day-to-day life. How it experiences or how it appreciates, like for example, semester books are there. Okay, semester books and carton of cigarettes is the both are the choices for a typical college student. I'm just giving an example. Semester books and a carton of cigarettes. These both are the choices for a typical college student. So he can purchase anything. Exams are near, he can purchase anything. He can purchase semester books, or he can purchase carton of cigarettes, or he can purchase both. So limited amount is there, limited amount of pocket money is there. That is a constraint. He wants to purchase both, but money is less. He can purchase either one, either of the one. So some may go for semester books, some may go for carton of cigarettes. So that is economics. Limited resources, unlimited wants of a human being. This is just I given an example. There are various factors, various examples in day-to-day life we will be experiencing. So semester books and carton of cigarettes, that is your choices, are to be purchased with a limited amount of pocket money. That is your constraint. So the aim of our studying economics is to understand the decision making process or the decision process behind allocating the currently available resources or the limited resources. The needs are always unlimited or the wants are always unlimited, but resources are always being limited, friends. Okay. Then we will start now with the definition given by Adam Smith first. Okay. Who is Adam Smith? Adam Smith is the father of modern economics. In his book entitled An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations, which was published in 1776. Okay, so what it defined economics as a study of wealth. Wealth definition he just defined as, according to him, I said now in different economists in different phase have given different emphasized on different topics or different economic activities. This is the one topic which is given by Adam Smith. So Adam Smith, what according to him, he is stating that the subject matter of economics is the study of how wealth is produced and consumed. So all your definitions, friends, is too materialistic, but it gives more importance to wealth. Adam Smith information or Adam Smith emphasizement on economic activity gives more importance to wealth than a man for whose use wealth is being produced. Okay. Then comes your Alfred Marshall definition. So what he had given, he is a well-known English economist. So what he says is, economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It is on the one side the study of wealth is there, and on the other side or more important side is the part of study of man. So that only means we should go for wealth as well as should take care of ourselves. That is, we should do a study of ourselves. Adam Smith has given an importance or more importance to the wealth than a man for whose use wealth is being produced. So Alfred Marshall, what he is stating that it is to be both sides. Economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. On one side we should focus on wealth or we should study of wealth. Other side, more important side, that is your part of study of man. So wealth here means only any commodity which gives man a satisfaction or a utility or a welfare. So wealth is the means to welfare here. Okay, friends. So Alfred Marshall's ultimate aim or the objective or the purpose of economics is to promote well-being or welfare. Okay, he viewed economics as a science of human welfare. Hence, it is known as your welfare definition. Next comes your Robin's definition. So what Robin they had said, According to them, economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. So what does it mean or what does it indicate? It just presents economics as a study of means and ends. Means means resources, friends. Resources are limited, are less in relation to their demand. Demand are unlimited, resources are limited, supply is limited. So how a person uses its scarce resources to fulfill their desires in the subject matter of economics. That is, Robbins have been defined or specified or stated. So they are saying ends. Ends means wants. Humans wants are unlimited. Then scarce means resources. Resources are limited. Man has to make a choice within it to choose what and to ignore what. The means to satisfy human wants are limited, that is, scarce are limited. Resources are not only limited but have alternative uses also is there. Just I have given an example, na? The substitute use. The I've just given a carton of cigarettes and a semester books example of a typical college student. Am I correct? He had both the choices. Any one only he can choose as he is having resources. That is, scarce of resources are limited. Pocket of money is the constraint. Am I correct? Just relate with it. That is the main definition of economics. If you relate with your day-to-day life, you will come to know what is all about economics. So friends, now we will see the what is microeconomics and macroeconomics. Friends, microeconomics. Micro means I have just stated individual choices, a single unit. So microeconomics is that branch of economics which is concerned with the decision making of a single unit of an entire economic system. For example, how does an individual or a family decide on how much of various goods and services or commodities and services to consume? Or you can take another example. How does a business firm decide how much of its product or how much of its products to produce? These are just a typical questions which I am discussing now in microeconomics. This is the basic questions. When seeing into economic or economy as a whole, there are various factors or determination for which microeconomics play a vital role. So what is that? Just give you a short snap on it. A determination of income, employment, etc. in the economic system or the entire economic system as a whole is not the concern of microeconomics. This is the concern of macroeconomics. Why? Because I've just stated na, as a whole, determination of income, employment growth, that is, etc. All this in the economic system as a whole when takes place, it's not the concern of microeconomics. Instead, it is the concern of macroeconomics. Thus, a microeconomics can be defined as a study of economic decision making by micro units or by slices, you can say. Okay, we will just see what are the usefulness of microeconomics to determine demand pattern and supply pattern. How to determine demand pattern? Basically, the study of microeconomics have several uses. It determines the pattern of demand in the entire economy, that is, the amount of demand for different goods and services in the economy, because the total demand of goods and services or total demand for a good or a service is the sum total of the demands of all the individuals. Individuals come here. This is why determination of demand and supply pattern play a vital role here too in the microeconomics. Next comes your, that's the same, in the similar way only the pattern of supply also, friends. Okay, then the next is your pricing. Pricing, friends, play a important role or important determination is there. Probably you can say as it is the most important economic question, the price determination. How to determine a price for a product? Okay, the prices of the various commodities or various goods and services determine the pattern of the resource allocation in the economy. So what I will say is the prices in turn are determined by the interaction of the forces of demand and supply of goods and services. See friends, wherever price all would be there, demand and supply will come automatically. By determining the demand and supply, microeconomics helps us in understanding the process of price determination, and hence the process of determination of how to allocate the resources in a society or a economy. Then comes your policies to improvement or resource allocation. For resource allocation, if a resource is not being allocated effectively, so how to improve it? The policies are there. As the name stated, policies for improvement. It simply means economic development stresses the need for improving the pattern of resource allocation in the economy. Okay, your next topic we will just see on the macroeconomics. Before going for macroeconomics, just wind up with the microeconomics. That is, then your next comes. So as I stated, all this shows your economics as your social science, which aims or its main purpose is to analyze the economic behavior of individuals in a social environment. Then comes your limitations. So just we will see what are the limitations of your microeconomics. Monetary and fiscal policies, that's one of the most important. Also, total demand and total supply in your economy is the sum of individual demands and your individual supplies respectively. But the total economic picture of an entire country cannot always be understood in this simplistic way, friends. Okay, by determining the price determination, or by determining the price, total demand, total supply, the sum of all individual demands and sum of all individual supplies respectively, the total economic picture of a country cannot always be understood in this simplistic way or simplistic way. Why, friends? Because there are various factors which affect the total economic system which are outside the scope of microeconomics. That is microeconomics. What microeconomics doesn't deal with, macro deals. For example, your role of monetary and fiscal policies in the determination of economic variables, all this cannot be analyzed completely without going beyond micro. Am I correct? For to analyze monetary and fiscal policies, we should we should deal with the entire economic system, that is go with the macroeconomics too. Micro and macro both should take place. As we are only studying micro, there is a limitation. Monetary and fiscal policies, we can't be able to, in a simplistic way, we can understand the entire economic picture of a respective country. Then comes the income determination. Microeconomics also does not tell us anything about how the income of a specific country is determined, that is your national income. Your business cycles, ups and downs of national income over time, these are known as your fluctuations, the business cycle. My correct related point is that it does not analyze the causes of fluctuations in the national income. Then comes your unemployment. I just said you, when we started microeconomics concept, I just stated you, unemployment, this all comes under macro, not in micro. If this all arises, that means macro is taking place or macro has been took place. So one of the main economic problem faced by an economy like India, is the problem of unemployment. This again is one of the areas on which microeconomics does not shed much light, because if we are to find a solution to the unemployment problem, friends, we must first understand the causes of it, the problem. Any problem is there, we should first understand the root cause. After analyzing or understanding the root cause, we can go forward and come to a conclusion or come to a solution. For that, in turn, we must understand how the total employment level in the economy is determined. This is difficult to understand from within the confines of microeconomics. We should go beyond microeconomics. So there is a limitation in microeconomics, unemployment. Okay. So friends, now we just studied microeconomics. So what is macroeconomics? The limitations in microeconomics will be solved in macroeconomics. That is your unemployment, your growth rate, your monetary policy, fiscal policy, all that, your income determination, etc. So macroeconomics is your aggregate income or total income. It is that branch of economics which is mainly concerned with the economic magnitude, which relates to the economic system as a whole rather than individual units or single unit. Okay. So that's why it is therefore called as your aggregate economics or your total economics. Okay. Macroeconomics generally deals with not only with your individual income but also with your national income, not with individual prices but also with the entire prices. And that means not with individual prices but with the price level, not with individual outputs but with national output. We will study what is the significance of macroeconomics and why, or you can say as why the study of macroeconomics is so important. To put it briefly, friends, macroeconomics, okay, macroeconomics deals with the some of the questions which are untouched by microeconomics. That is the limitations of microeconomics you can take as an example. So the study of economics is therefore left incomplete. It is not complete. If we do not study if we do not study macroeconomics, some of the important issues analyzed in macroeconomics, that is your income and employment determination, price level, your business cycle, which I just said in the limitations of micro, you can take here as importance or advantages of macro. Then your BOP, known as balance of payment. Balance of payments, friends, is nothing but balance. That is assets and liabilities. How we do balance? The balance of payments theory is also a part of macroeconomics. It is mainly the difference between the total inflow and total outflow of foreign exchange is known as your balance of payments of a respective country. When this balance is negative, listen carefully, friends, when this balance is negative, that is outflow exceeds inflow, the country faces a lot of economic hardships. The causes and the remedies of such balance of payments problem are discussed in macroeconomics, not in microeconomics. Okay, then comes your government policies. Your all government policies you can take, for example, your effect of taxes on the output of an individual firm. These are a subject of microeconomics. Macro deals with this, also deals with the national income or the general price level. These are mainly studied by the macro. Then your interrelations between markets, that is your most important contribution of macroeconomic theory, friends. It is just to show that the different markets of an economic system. Different market means you can take as commodity market, labor market, bond market, money market, etc. Any market you can take. This is a interrelation between markets are interrelated. Macroeconomic theory plays here a vital role. Again, what we say, any disturbance in one of these market affects all the others. That is, again, it should affect your employment factors, followed by cyclical fashion, etc. While income rises, employment expands during boom periods, etc. Friends, just link with the business cycle. If a business is boom or a business period is boom, you naturally your income rises, employment expand. If your business shrink or if your business is shrinking during depression, since depression is there, bring business failure, unemployment takes place. So all this. Then comes your same your balance of payment. All this we have just discussed right now. This mainly comes under the macroeconomics. So in economics we need to study both micro as well as macro. Somewhere micro plays a role, some macro plays a role. So the limitations of microeconomics are covered by macro. On the other hand, macro does not make a detailed study of individual consumer or a producer. This is taken care by a microeconomics well than macroeconomics. So both are at its level very good. One can hope to form a comprehensive notion of what economics is all about only when one is acquainted with both microeconomics and macroeconomics, friends. So we need to study both micro as well as macro. Somewhere micro plays a role, some macro plays a role, some both takes place a role, and we can come to a great conclusion from it. Now friends, we will just see a differences or a differentiation between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Okay, we will start with first microeconomics. Microeconomics, friends, individual choices. Macroeconomics, aggregate. Microeconomics is a branch of economics which deals with economic decision making of individual economic agents such as your producer, your consumer, etc. When it comes to macroeconomics, it is the aggregate and average of the entire economy, that is your aggregate output or national income or aggregate savings, aggregate investment, etc. In microeconomics, it takes into account small components of the whole economy. Macro, it takes into consideration the economy of any country as a whole. Micro, it deals with the process of price determination in case of individual products and factors of production. Friends, factors of production: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Same. Then your macroeconomics, it deals with general price level in any economy, you can say. Next, your microeconomics is also known as your price theory. Why price theory, friends? Since it explains the process of how to allocate the resources or the economic resources along with alternative lines of production he is giving on the basis of relative prices of various goods and services. Macro, it is also known as your income theory. Here it's known as price theory, there is known as income theory. Why income theory? Since it also explains the changing levels of national income in any economy during any particular time frame or period. Understood, friends? I will give few more distinguish or differentiation between micro and macro. In micro, mainly it is concerned with the optimization goals of individual consumers and producers. They are mainly concerned with the individual or single unit, you can say. Example, individual consumers are utility maximizers while individual producers are profit maximizers. Individual producers, they are producing, naturally if they are producing they will be selling. When they are selling, they will expect some profit. Am I correct? Similarly, individual consumers, they are consuming, so they need satisfaction, they need the utility of the services which they had asked for. Am I correct? Similarly, the macroeconomics, it is concerned with the optimization of the growth process of the entire economy. Then comes your mainly your flow, friend. Flow of studies the flow of economic resources, or you can see your factors of production from any individual owner, like any individual to any individual user. It just studies the flow of economic resources, micro. What does macro do in that case? It studies the circular flow of income and expenditure between different sectors of the economy. Different sectors means, friend, household sector, firm sector, etc. Micro and macro, friends, mainly is micro takes into account the aggregates or the total over homogeneous or similar products. Example, supply of steel in an economy. Supply of steel in an economy. Example, this is the microeconomics. Macro comes to GDP, this all macro deals with. It takes into account the aggregate over heterogeneous or dissimilar products. Dissimilar products, micro, similar products. Here heterogeneous or dissimilar products. Say you can take as example as GDP, GNP, GDP of any country during any year. It takes into example as micro, and microeconomics as your supply of steel of in an economy, similar products that micro deals with. Now we will just study a short snap on different branches of economics, friends. Branches, there are two branches, friends, micro and macro. It's just for your knowledge update, friends. Micro and macro. In micro, individual decision making is there. How individual decision making and smaller components of the economy. Based on that, based on the factors, individually as a whole, microeconomics studies it. So it's known as a individual decision making and smaller components of the economy. Macro decision making, macro also does, but at a national level or as an aggregate level and aggregate economic variables. Here individual's income is being considered, their national income has been considered. Individual consumption, aggregate consumption. Individual savings, national savings. Individual investment, aggregate investment. Output of an individual firm, one firm, any one firm. Here national output. So friends, what is economic problem, or what are the types of economic problem? First we will see what is economic problem, friends. Okay. The scope of economics now. entails the identification of your basic economic problems before any society, or you can say as find out different possible ways. There are different possible ways to solve those economic problems. So what is your economic problem, friends? Okay, every human society are having economic problem. What to produce, how to produce, all these are the your economic problem. Am I correct? So just we studied as micro and macroeconomics. What is micro and what is macroeconomics? What it deals with, there is an economic problem in it. The main economic problem faced by every society are unlimited human wants but limited resources, or fulfillment of unlimited wants and with limited resources. So just note down there are three economic problems faced by every society. They are: first, your unlimited human wants. Unlimited human wants. Human wants are unlimited. Then second comes your limited availability of resources, or limited availability of scarce resources to satisfy those human wants. Second comes your fulfillment of unlimited wants with limited resources. Fulfillment of unlimited wants with limited resources. So friends, in any society, human wants are unlimited. If one want is satisfied, the other appears soon. For instance, if you can say, for instance, a basic need of human being, that is food, clothing and shelter, are satisfied, then the same person goes to a secondary needs appear soon, or goes to further step. These secondary needs may be social needs, safety needs, anything would be there. If they are social needs, you can say social needs, that is to need for attaining a social function or social obligations to fulfill, etc. However, in comparison with these unlimited human wants, the resources required to satisfy such human wants remains limited, or limited scarce resources. There comes the main problem before any society, as to satisfy the unlimited wants with limited resources. Here the problem of choice or selection arises, friends. Am I correct? Thus economics also is a social science. It is a problem of choice or selection. It implies that every society has to arrange its requirements in order to the priority. Then just remember this: in order to priority, every society has to arrange its requirements in order to priority. Means that I have just given in the first slide the example of your carton of cigarettes and a semester books for a typical college student. He was having both the options, anyone he can choose, but he needs both. The human wants are unlimited, resources, that is a constant, pocket money was limited, anyone he can get. Am I correct? Just relate with it. So in order to priority, he should select it. Then with its limited resources, the society has to satisfy the human wants in order to the priority. So in economics, when we say, as we try to analyze the causes behind those economic problems, we will first analyze it and find out a possible ways to solve those said problems. So what is there? First is your unlimited human wants. Human wants are unlimited. There are variety of goods and services for maintaining and improving his or her standard of living. Am I correct? Every human needs to improve their standard of living or wants to improve their standard of living. So in that case, there are a variety of goods and services for maintaining and improving. So whenever the basic needs, food, clothing and shelter are fulfilled, then the man or the people feel that they want or need education, book, eraser, pen, pencil, chair, table, television, etc. When one need is being fulfilled, the person goes or wants for second need. So your needs or your wants, you can say as unlimited. You can take an example in a modern society. These wants are increased further in response to the pressures of fashion and advertising. Okay, then comes your limited resources for satisfying these wants. So these wants to get satisfied, there are limited scarce resources. That is, I can give you an example on production, friends. Production of various goods and services require resources. Am I correct? If we produce a certain product, we require some resources like land, resources, mineral, forest, physical capital, It's your machinery, factory sheds, etc. And mainly your money, finance capital, human resource, skilled labor, unskilled labor. All these would be required to produce a product. However, compared to unlimited wants for various goods and services, these resources seem to be insufficient. It implies that even if all these available resources are fully employed for producing various goods and services, only a small part of the human wants can be satisfied. Understood? It implies that even if all these available resources, like I just said, your labor, skilled labor, unskilled labor, money capital, mineral resources, entire resources have been available. Assume all these available resources are available and are fully employed for producing those various goods and services. Still, a small part of human want can only be satisfied because human wants are unlimited. We can't satisfy the entire human wants. If one is satisfied, other will arrive or other will arise. So scarcity of resources is an important reason behind your economic problem in any society. The three main problems is there in recent times. What economists have analyzed that in economic system from a broad perspective, they analyzed the three main problems, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. In short, these are called as your what, how, and for whom. What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So friend, what to produce, that is a first question arises: what goods and services are to be produced in a society and in what quantities, etc. As human wants unlimited, resources limited. Similarly, how to produce, if that decision, the first question, if we are having a solution for it, second question arises: how to produce, that is every economy must solve their decision making, that is deciding how to produce the goods and services. Am I correct? A particular quantity of a particular good or service can be produced in many different ways. The economy must choose a particular way of producing those specific specified goods and services in the specified amount of good. Moreover, this must be done for each of the different goods and services that the economy wants to produce. So friends, here we are talking only of one quantity. There are various products, various services, various quantities to be discussed. These all are mainly the reasons behind economic problem. The choice of techniques are there. Choice of techniques means, friends, the choice of particular way of producing, the choice of methods, how to produce a set of goods and services. Am I correct? In some cases, for example, I will give you a short example in it. In some cases, for instance, a particular amount of a particular good can be produced by different combinations of inputs. Okay, thus it may be that 10 tons of wheat, it's just an example, 10 tons of wheat can be produced either on 2 hectares of land by 5 workers or 5 agricultural workers, or 4 hectares of land by 2 agricultural workers, depending the, this is two methods just given, that's a choice of technique. Third economic is problem is here for whom to produce. So the economy has decided the amounts of production of various goods and services and has also chosen the appropriate technique for producing them. There still remains the problem of deciding the manner in which the produced goods and services will be used. Okay, so problem of here distribution takes place. Am I correct? Main economic problem, just you got an idea?